We're now moving on with the news following the rampant collapse of buildings in the country. The president of the Uganda Institute of Professional Engineers, led by engineer Andrew Muhwezi, has urged engineers and site developers to embrace modern engineering technology. Now, he says that he says that this was done to improve the efficiency in their work aimed at ending the rampant collapse of buildings witnessed in the country. Now, the president has made the remarks during the training seminar of engineers organized by ZadeCAD, a group in Weyerere Wakiso earlier on today. Our reporter still was there to get you more.
In the last 3 months of this year, 2022, over 4 buildings in different areas collapsed, causing death and significant damages. This situation has caused a number of unanswered questions among many Ugandans, and Andrew Muhwezi, the president of Uganda Institute of Professional Engineers, says the collapse of these buildings is not necessarily due to poor engineers, but a number of factors, as he states.
I also want to highlight that there are 3 parties, 3 principles in a construction contract. You have the developer. That is the party who seemingly is never spoken about when there is a carnage. You have the regulator and the chief regulator of buildings, the National Building Review Board. You have the labor, which includes professional labor. The developers must understand the gravity of their decisions in terms of whom they contract.
It's from here that he has encouraged engineers to always adjust in their engineering skills and embrace the use of modern technology in their work.
But when a building collapses, the interesting thing is that people get preoccupied with how much money has been lost. Very rarely do you hear people speaking about how many orphans have been created, how many widows have been created out there. And they must improve their appetite to listen to the advice of the professionals they employ. Because I'm told there are in many occasions the engineer can advise, then the developer is not listening. But then what do the professional values tell you? If the developer is not listening, should you go ahead and implement something wrong?
Jackson Mwangali, the professor of structures, says apart from using good quality materials, engineers need to be equipped with analysis and designs that fit styles of the modern era.
Practicing engineers, fresh graduates, students, to equip these people with design analysis and design skills. This is very important in engineering. You need to keep your mind afresh and be conversant with the modern design trends. And so it's been quite a useful exercise.
According to engineer Hans from 8M Engineering Services, the downfall of buildings is partly due to developers who come up with inappropriate designs plus unapproved plans.
Buildings collapse, and the beginning is the developer. The developer who thinks he or she can cut costs and go through systems that are not appropriate. So, if he goes and does not have the requisite designs, or he has whatever he has, but he goes through the approvals wrongly, then one day he's on the job, something is bound to happen.
Gloria Linda Ndagire, the PRO for ZadeCAD, narrates why they organized the seminar.
Structures, and this bootcamp helps the engineers, especially the engineers who are in the field of construction and structures, to be able to learn the modern way of designing structures, especially using computers. So we are transitioning from the old way of designing structures by hand calculations to use of computers to be able to design structures.
Some of the engineers who attended the meeting have had this to say.
Obuzibu bwetusinga okusanga nti ekintu okubeera cheap si kyekimu ne client kyayinza okulaba. So always ba clients bakyusa design kubanga baagala okukekereza.
because the adequacy of design, as we see, is very important, because we design for strength. So in many cases, we find that the designs that have been taken up, either someone has seen that they use a particular number of steel bars or a particular strength of concrete or a particular design during construction, maybe from previous experience, but has not taken into particular consideration.
After the seminar, the group of engineers have been awarded certificates of participation. Robert Sabita Bamugonya for BTM News Today.